Thanks for joining. I am so thrilled to have my amazing guest with me today, Abbey Bigi-Prow. Abby
Hi.
brings over 2 decades of experience working with young children, having been a coach, nanny, and for the past 15 years, a photographer specializing in newborn and family portraits. After welcoming twin boys in 2019, she struggled to balance work and motherhood, finding traditional childcare options unappealing due to her entrepreneurial lifestyle. When the opportunity to join Village Cowork just minutes from her home arose, Abby knew it was the perfect solution. She was one of the original members at Village Irving Park, where her family thrives. After relocating to the near west suburbs of Chicago, Abby knew Lee Village was the ideal next step for her family and career. After a long search and renovation process, she's excited to share her transformed space with the community, creating a vibrant hub where families and entrepreneurs can grow, connect, and thrive together. And I am so thrilled she's here. Thank you so much for joining us, Abby. It's an absolute pleasure.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad. And reading your bio, I'm just so excited and so thrilled to kind of hear about your journey. And I would love to dive right in. I have so many questions for you, but I want to start with just tell us more about Lay Village. I feel like this is just such a cool opportunity and such a cool concept. And I'd love to learn more about it and have our listeners learn as well.
Absolutely. So our tagline is community, co-working, and childcare. And for me, it really encompasses all three and has. It was founded in 2019 by Daniela Cornu, just a mom who had a 4-month-old and was like, there's got to be a better way. Like, I'm supposed to be flexible, right? This is supposed to be working from home. And it's like not working for me. It's like she still had to put her kid in childcare. And just the idea, she's like, there's got to be something out there where I can see her more and be present with her more. And so she kind of created it, which in the first location was in the Irving Park neighborhood. I when she opened in October of 2019, and I had just had my boys and had been kind of struggling to find my place. As I said, I've been a photographer for 15 years, and there's really no break for that. Like if I were to just traditional childcare didn't work for me. I had infant twins that I couldn't afford it. I didn't really need it, considering half my work happened on the weekends, and I didn't want it, honestly. So tried all of the routes, right? The like elusive wonderful grandma in home daycare. Maybe you could find a spot for one, but not for two. Couldn't afford a nanny. And again, didn't necessarily need it. Tried to get part-time help just from people to come in. None of those options really worked. I still couldn't quite focus. So it was in a mom's group, a new mom's group that somebody had said about this new concept. I toured the space before there were walls. It's literally, I had like my giant double stroller parked in the front and like, she's like, you can leave. So anyway, left the babies. There weren't walls, met her team, loved Danny. And I was like, I'm in. This is wonderful, exactly what I need. And kind of the rest is history. So yeah, like I think 2 weeks later, they put up those walls very quickly. Um, and 2 weeks later, we were, part-time at Lay Village. That was 5 half days a week. And then upped it to 3 full days. And that was kind of my journey for 3 years while I was there. Um, and then when we moved to the suburbs, again, I'd been a photographer for about 15 years. Love what I do. Will continue to do what I do as we're in my studio right now. But I'm, it's hard. My boys are getting older and it's hard. You miss full months out of the year being with them, and knew that I was like a franchise was something that I was interested in. And when we moved this way, I was like, Danny, is this something you had thought about? And she had thought about it. So I was technically her first one to sign on. We kind of explored it together. I signed a contract with her, and now 3 years later, I am the sixth one to open. Because of the way, of course, I had decided to go about it. But yeah, so that's kind of how we came to be here.
Oh, I love that. That's so amazing. And I think this is so needed and is such an innovative idea and such a important thing for us moms.
I think in the moment when I found Lay Village, I was like, okay, yeah, this works, right? And it was kind of more of a desperate not a desperation, but just like, oh, okay. And now looking back, it allowed me to do motherhood my way in a way that I'm very grateful. And it was just so extremely unique. I realized, I had 3 full days to focus on my editing. I would shoot on Saturdays while my wife had the boys, and I had 2 full days on like a Wednesday and a Monday to go to the zoo or hang out with them or attend soccer practices. It's just that true flexibility that you think remote work will help, but either way, I was very able. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely my way. And it was exactly, I was just able to do it. And it would not have been able to do it without Lay Village, at least not as successfully. So that's good.
I love that. I love how you say motherhood your way. Like that is just awesome. That's so great. And so, how does it work? Can you tell us a bit more of how Lay Village works and how it can offer us this gray more so than
Absolutely.
black and white?
Absolutely. And I think it gets us, and we have full-time members. So this is their office and their daycare. And you get to pack up your kid, come into work with them. Our space opens at 8. So, put your things down, grab a cup of coffee. Um, Let the kid play. We have a beautiful open play area, so the kids can play a little bit while you do all of that, for our toddlers at least. And then we have 3 full dedicated classrooms. So we have an infant room, a toddler room, and then a pre-K threes, fours room. And so, yeah, like I said, classrooms open at 8:30, and then you put your kids in their classroom with their teachers. And we have a beautiful curriculum that we call Waldorf. So it's a little bit of Waldorf, a little bit of Montessori, all play-based inspired, but it is a guided curriculum with dedicated staff. And you leave, like you shut the door and you go into a beautiful, open, modern co-working space. It's an office, right? And you have coworkers, and there's private offices if you need that. We have counselors who need the private office, or it's a beautiful open co-work space. And if you need to take a phone call, you can check out. We have a little phone booth you can check out. I guess, and then 4 hours later, you come and pick up your baby, do lunch together, and do the whole thing over again in the afternoon. So, which is great. Like I said, you really get that connection. We have parents who are breastfeeding, so they can pull them out, or diapering a certain way they'd like to do. And like I said, we're happy to help that way. But again, you just really get to do it your way, whatever that looks like for you. So,
That's so
there are teachers, there are friends, it's amazing to like have lunch with people who have kids the same age as you and be like, my kid did this really weird thing. Is your kid doing that? And that you have that like immediate kind of connection and be like, oh, okay, good. It's not just me. And like you have a built-in village here, which is wonderful.
that's
5 days a week. We have people who are half days. Like I said, I was half days in the beginning. Just wasn't a morning person. My boys weren't either. So we would kind of have quiet mornings as we needed to come in at lunch and nap time. And then I would get work done for the last half of the day. And it worked for us. We have people who are only here 2 days a week. We have people who are here 1 day a week. So again, if grandma can help 1 day a week, you're able to get off 1 week. So again, it's super flexible and again, not just moms, but dads as well.
so cool.
Right. I mean, I remember my very first Mother's Day at Lay Village, because there was, kind of a talking corner, which I was always in because half the time when I'm editing, I can talk as well. So either way, just in general, I'm a talker. But I remember my very first Mother's Day at Lay Village, and like the 4 women I had gotten close to who were also in the little talkie corner, and there was just tears and be like, why did he do this? And why did he do that? Like it was like part mom's group, part friend group. I often don't talk enough about. It's just like literal like friendships and community. The 8 women that I was closest with there, we get together once a month for drinks. We do once a year trips. Our kids get together at least 4 or 5 times a year. It's more like a cousin relationship than anything. We're doing a cookie making thing when school's out. So there's that. Yeah, like I said, and I've hired all of them. I've been hired by all of them. It was really an entrepreneurial way of life. And again, and also a little bit of a sisterhood and brotherhood. I mean, again, like I said, one of my best friends, her husband was on site most of the time. And we're all very close as well. So my wife is very close with all of these families. So yeah, that was really great too. Like I said, it's just a new way of looking at community. And again, all of these people who had such a different experience and approach to motherhood